Grab you a milkshake and a hamburger. We're talking Riverdale. This is a review for Riverdale, Chapter 16, Watchers in the Woods. So this is going to be a short video tonight, I hope, because quite honestly, not a lot happened on Riverdale tonight. They just had a few basic storylines, and they just kind of plowed through them. Not a great deal happened. Let's just go with probably the least interesting story. Jughead is selling in at Southside High, and he's getting mixed in with the Southside Serpents. You know, here's the thing. I couldn't even remember that he was still going to this other high school. That's how uninterested it is from last season. But last season, didn't they do it where he went to the high school and everyone thought he was going to get jumped and get the shit beat out of him, but he kind of settled in right away, making friends. And now they're kind of starting it over like it's his first day, and he's meeting the Southside Serpents, including Tony Topaz, I think that's what her name is. And, she's going to be his guide, helping him out, joining the Serpents, getting mixed in with Fang Fogarty and, was it Peabody? No, Peabody's the lawyer chick. The big P guy, whatever the fuck his name is. I honestly don't care for that storyline because I already see where it's going. It's where basically Jughead is going to be joining the Southside Serpents against Betty's objection. She's like, no, don't get mixed in with them. He's like, Betty, I gotta survive. This is my life now. And of course, he's going to be having a little triangle with him, Betty, and Tony, and it's like, I've seen this 100 times. And of course, Betty's still gonna love Jughead, even though he's probably gonna be unfaithful to her, and she got the nagging mother. And it's like, what I had hoped to see, based on last night's episode. I mean, not last week's episode, where you kind of see Betty was, sticking up for a man and helping him out, was that Betty was actually going to go with him to the Southside Serpents and be a part of that life, and they kind of be like Bonnie and Clyde, but we're going to get this sort of melodrama where he's got to choose between two different types of life, and it's like, ugh. And of course, another storyline I'm not really looking forward to is kind of Veronica and her dad. Although, honestly, I don't know where they're going with this. I thought she was going to keep being rebellious and they're going to keep locking horns. But now she's really trying, make an effort to get to know him. But Hiram being Hiram, he's just going to keep on being Hiram. He's basically setting himself up to be the godfather of Riverdale. And Veronica's going to be his daughter. So there could be some interesting stories there. But I still feel, between that and the Betty and Jughead Serpent deal, it's just going to be Archie's music all over again. So, before we get into the big plot line, of course, we had some stuff with Kevin. He was out in the woods the night that Midge and Moose got shot, hooking up with some random guy, because he does that, apparently. He just goes out in the middle of the night to the woods and the parks and tries to find himself, a gay hookup. That led to some interesting scenes as, Betty's trying to get him out of that. And he's like, Betty, you don't know me. You don't know what it's like to be a gay guy in Riverdale. And it was interesting, but I did feel it was a bit dated. Like, I'm not, of course, a member of the LGBT community, so I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there are towns in America that are like Riverdale where you still have to be, keep who you are a secret, stay in the closet, but, I think people have more options today, and it doesn't feel like he would be making these sort of dangerous moves. But, like I said, it led to some interesting scenes with him and Betty, and then, of course, it's sort of like their friendship is strained, but his relationship with his dad, the sheriff, might be getting better. So I thought it was pretty good, and I thought Casey Cott, who plays Kevin, gave a very good performance. And I think this was just limited to this one episode, this story. Maybe there'll be more, maybe there won't be, but I guess he's not going to be going out in the woods at night anymore, so that's kind of the end of that. Okay, so the main story, Black Hood, who is he? Why is he killing people? We found out a lot more information. At first, like I mentioned, Kevin came upon Midge and Moose, they both survived, which kind of surprised me. I thought Midge would make out of it because Moose, you know, he's a big guy, so you take all the bullets for her. But Moose also lived. I'm like, okay, Riverdale, you're killing off these characters or you're not, okay? I mean, we already have the cliffhanger from last season, whether or not Fred lived, and he did, and now you're dealing with Moose. You know, if you're going to shoot some, you're going to have a killer who's going after characters, you got to have him kill some, besides Mrs. Grundy. You know, that's kind of what separates this murder mystery from last year's with Jason Blossom is the added bonus that some people might get killed off and kind of guessing who's going to survive to the end of the season. And like I said, he didn't kill any other people, but he sent a letter to Betty's mother, you know, because she runs the paper with, you know, Betty's dad, and, you know, Alice, of course, takes it to the mayor, and then, you know, they read the letter with the sheriff, and it says basically, yeah, the Black Hood is out to get the sinners. You know, he shot Fred because Fred was, you know, having an affair with Hermione. He shot Miss Grundy because she was a pedophile, and he tried to kill Moose and Midge because, you know, they're a bunch of no good, dirty teenagers having sex and doing drugs. So that's the motivations of this killer, which all the more makes you think is Ted Cruz. We saw some previews, so there's some definite Zodiac shit coming up. And now, you know, you find out the Black Hood's after the sinners. You know, Ted Cruz, that's my #1 suspect. I have a few other ideas. I might put out a different video, you know, theories. But right now, Ted Cruz, #1 suspect. But the Black Hood better watch out because Archie has decided to form his own vigilante gang. You know, after just seeing some comic books, he decides to form his own vigilante gang, which I thought was pretty cool, the comic books, because Archie Comics just doesn't do Archie stuff. They also, from time to time, they do superheroes, and it looked like they had the Shield and some of their older superheroes. What I thought was might be interesting is if Archie actually reads those books, he'll know that there is actually a Black Hood comic book character who's basically a vigilante. So maybe he'll realize that, oh shit, you know, this Black Hood is inspired by these comics. Or maybe not. But anyway, he decides to form a vigilante group called the Red Circle. And he recruits, you know, most of the football players and Dilton Doily. Because, you know, Dilton Doily's a survivalist and can get guns. And, you know, of course, Reggie's on the football team. So now Reggie, he's getting in the storyline. I'm loving this. You know, part of me just kind of wished that, you know, Archie wasn't involved and it was just Reggie leading the Red Circle. Or Watchdog, as you wanted to call it. Which I thought sounded cooler. Maybe should have gone with Guard Dogs because, you know, Watchdogs, they're being used by Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. right now. But like I said, it's good to see Reggie getting involved in the storyline, even though it kind of seems contradictory, because last week we found out he was a drug dealer. Now he's all about the law, you know? Yeah. Also, I gotta say, I just love how Dilton Doily's like, you know, and they're talking about capturing the killer. He's, whittling a steak. It's like, okay, so is he fighting vampires? I mean, I know that, you know, because he's a survivalist, he's probably actually legitimately just making a tent steak, but, you know, maybe that could be a storyline for Dilton and Reggie, you know, taking down some vampires, you know, keeping up the Red Circle after they get the Black Hood and all that shit's done with. Him and, you know, Reggie and Dilton, you know, out to get the vampires, along with Remedial Pussycat, who I think's name is Melody. Does that make sense? Because you had the one that was dating Archie, I think her name is Valerie. Josie, of course, is the leader with her mother's the mayor. So the third one, who never really speaks at all, that's Melody. Like, get her involved in the storyline too. Anyway, I transgress. Like I said, you know, it's just, it was an okay episode. It more or less just kind of set some stuff up. It kept things going. Like I said, we just find out what the Black Hood's motivation is. He's out to get the sinners. Also, the wallet. I'm glad they've already got that out of the way. That's how they knew that the person writing the letter was the real deal, because he sent Fred's wallet and he also sent Miss Grundy's little heart-shaped sunglasses. Okay, so like I said, that I thought that'd come back, it'd just be Jason's jacket, but not really. It didn't last that long, so that theory was wrong. Also, we said goodbye to Polly because she's like, holy shit, he's after sinners. I'm, an unwed mother who's pregnant by her third cousin. I am the fuck out of here. I'm going to that farm. I love how they brought back the farm. He's like, I called the farm. What fucking farm? And I already knew. It's like, yeah, the farm from last season they were going to. She's like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Smart move on her part. I thought for a while everyone just seemed so fucking stupid. It's like after Moose got shot, I thought everyone else would be like Archie. Like, holy shit. Shit's going down. We gotta get the fuck. We gotta figure this shit out. Everyone's like, oh, who says all these things are connected? It's like, I'm glad they didn't stretch that out, but speaking of the Red Circle, turns out it's probably going to get some funding from Hiram Lodge. By the looks of it, he's kind of manipulating Archie. He's kind of pretending that he's interested in Archie just because, he's dating Veronica. But it looks like Hiram's going to be financing this Red Circle. And I think it's just to suit his own needs. Get rid of some of the drug competition, namely the Ghoulies. The other gang at Southside High. Really? The Ghoulies. Like, I know it's from the comics, but I mean, that seems incredibly dated. A bunch of kids today, we're the Ghoulies. It's like, oh, the Goonies Ghoulies. It's like, shit, I guess Stinkers was taken. Oh, that was just too stupid. But like I said, decent enough episode, and that's all I gotta say. Looking forward to next week. Might put out a theory video in between.